My name is Shitij Goyal. My roll number is 2401376. I will be talking today about India's growing trade deficit, a major concern for the Indian economy. So, trade deficit occurs when a country imports more than the goods that it is exporting. So, we have to technically pay the country that we are importing from more than we are owed from them. So, and this gap has been widening over the years, and we will be discussing that how can we tackle it, how this can be tackled in the short term and in the long term. So in 2023, India's trade deficit stood at a massive $248 billion, which was mainly driven by import of crude oil, so electronics and precious metals. So but as the pace of imports are also increasing, but it is not as significant as the exports are also increasing, but it is not as significant as the imports are increasing. So crude oil being majorly a very important component of the things that we import, because nearly 85% of the Indian demand of crude oil is being imported by us as of now. And we can also see that we have also a major reliance on all other energy factors also. So our imports remain a significant factor for us. Apart from this, the rising demand for gold due to the cultural demand and the investment preferences further adds to the deficit. Uh, Global economic slowdowns and lack of competitiveness in manufacturing can also be seen through this. And but now the implications of a high trade deficit is that a high trade deficit puts pressure on the Indian rupee, leading it to depreciate and increasing the cost of imports. So if we are importing more and more over the time period, our value of rupee depreciates, and we will be able to import less at the same amount of money. So it affects our foreign exchange reserves also, making the economy vulnerable to external shocks. So the external country over the time can also like command over rupee, and like we are saying that rupee is already at its all-time low. So by that sense, and India has been facing these issues, whitening of the trade deficit, starting from the 1991 when LPG was introduced, and the Indian economy was opened for global trade, and this import section has been increasing from this trade deficit has been increasing from there and that. To reduce the trade deficit, India needs to focus on boosting domestic production in the under the Make in India initiative. So strengthening the electronics and semiconductor industry within the next 2 3 to 5 years will reduce the dependence on Chinese imports. Also, investing in renewable energy sources over the next 5 to 7 years can cut down crude oil imports. Uh, Improving export competitiveness by upgrading infrastructure and streamlining logistics within 2 to 4 years will enhance India's position in global trade. While these challenge measures sound promising, they come with challenges: high initial costs, bureaucratic red tapeism, and a lack of skilled labor in certain industries can slow progress. Global competition and geopolitical tensions also pose barriers to expanding exports and reducing import dependence. So, a self reliant India is the road ahead. The future of our economy depends on how we tackle this challenge and turn it into an opportunity in the coming future. So, we need to produce under the PLI also, and the the production linked incentive scheme, and the other schemes of the government, so that domestic production can cater to the demands of the country, so that we have to import lesser things and we produce domestically more goods that are required to citizens in the general life. So that will eventually reduce our imports and export. If we like increase our manufacturing sector, so we can export also a lot of things that will help us further to reduce the trade deficit. So this is how we should go about it. Thank you so much.